Here we are to discuss comics. Will these comics make good film and television show? We got DC and Image. That's what we got. Find out what's in store right now. Yeah, we got two DCs, no Marvel. I bought very little Marvel this week. So we're going to do. It was actually apropos to do two of these comics together because we have Amazon Attacks and we have Wonder Woman that are interwoven with their storylines. But before we get into it, my name is Frank Zanka. I am your host. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a working line producer who recently moved from Los Angeles to Atlanta. So, and it is Christmas. I'm recording this on Christmas Day. I'll probably be releasing it tomorrow. So hope everybody had a great Christmas, Hanukkah, and any other holiday across the board. And I hope you were able to spend it with your family. All right, so let's jump into it right now. So we're going to start with Amazon's Attack, and then we're going to go into Wonder Woman after that. But the storyline for both is that there was an Amazon, for some reason, and this is, I'm not even buying this story. The story is just not working for me. It makes no sense whatsoever. But the storyline is that there are literally thousands of Amazonians that moved from Themyscira to the United States. I assume that they've lived in other parts of the world, but there are literally thousands of them just in the United States alone. I have no idea why they would do that. They lived in Paradise Island. There's no reason for them to come to man's world unless they were there for just go on vacation. But to live there permanently makes no sense whatsoever. If they were having relationships or whatever else, I still can't see thousands of them coming. It doesn't make any sense for them to give up their whole life to try something new forever. With this, like, move there completely. So they opened up the floodgates. It was kind of like immigration, I guess, that's happening now, and they just all came over. I don't buy it. They built paradise on their island, and if they wanted to sample men, they would just come over and sample us and leave. I'm just not buying it. So, and of course, we have the tribes in this one, which I still don't understand how that works. They're all on different islands. I like the idea. I just don't know how it works. And I thought Hippolyta was not dead. But she died, and I thought that technically she wasn't dead. They found out she wasn't dead later. I could be wrong because I didn't read any of that. Anything that had to do with Clunrad there, I didn't read at all. So anyway, Nubia is the queen, not Hippolyta, and we have Mary Marvel in this as well. But there was a murder that took place. It was by an Amazonian, and all of a sudden the entire world said, oh yeah, Amazonians are all bad because one committed murder. That's not how the world works, man. It doesn't work that way. You don't destroy everybody because one guy did one thing. Can you imagine? So I'm not buying any of this. I think the storyline is extremely bad. But in all this, we get interactions that I like. So let's jump into it. So Nubia was there as queen to supposedly meet with someone in the embassy or whatever else. And when she got there, the other two queens of the other islands just happened to show up in a max security building. They just popped in there. Didn't go through security, just popped in. I don't know. And then Mary was outside, so when they came out, they basically got thrown through a window, so Mary saved them. And now we find out that there are other women that are kind of activists that are also committing acts of violence, and they're wearing the Wonder Woman logo. So now, the Amazons are getting blamed for that too. It's all just a big mess. But anyway, they're all standing in Times Square, and we have that dude down the bottom that has the little chest there, and he's got all these tattoos or energy coming around his body. I can't tell if it's tattoos or it's energy. I can't tell. And Veronica Cale is also jumping in on this thing the whole bit. And Yara's basically telling Mary to get a grip. I don't know what's going on. Get a grip, Mary. Get a grip. Well, they're all saying that she's not a hero. I guess some of the signs in Times Square is saying the former hero. And they're like, get us out of here. Get your bunny, talking bunny, to teleport us out of there. And teleporting buddy said, I'm too tired. I'm tired. I cannot teleport. Oh. But anyway, mischievous tattoo guy drops an apple, and all of a sudden, all of the cops are mind controlled, and we get this cool shot of Mary stopping this armored vehicle with the bunny still on her shoulder. So we find out that Eris is involved, because I think Eris is right there. And what I don't understand is everybody that writes Wonder Woman or any piece of story outside of surrounding Wonder Woman, everything has to be feminist. And I don't understand why. Can we just have a regular story with females involved that don't have to do with women are great, men are shit? I mean, I don't understand why that has to be the focus of every Wonder Woman story. That's not how it's supposed to be. I mean, it's just, yes, we have female protagonists. Get over yourself. You know, it doesn't have to, you don't have to put down men in every single book that's written about female characters. That's like having a whole bunch of male Avengers saying, women are shit. Women are shit. See, it doesn't work. If you switch it around, whenever you're writing something and you're basing it on gender and or sex or whatever you want to call it, and you flip it and it doesn't work and it pisses somebody off, don't do it. Because just because you're focusing on somebody that they're going to say, well, you know, they're the majority, so they'll get over it. It doesn't work that way, man. So, I mean, here's what I'm saying right here. So she's talking to the bunny, and she says, he says, I'm a boy, and she says, my condolences. Why? Why? Josie Campbell, why? She's the writer, by the way. Did you have to put that in? Was that just gnawing at your gut that you had to put that in there? So anyways, little stuff like that, the little digs for no reason, that pissed me off. There's no reason for it. There's none. And when that's not the only one. So we get some cool little action things. Yora, takes out a cop, and then Mary gets belted in the stomach with this guy. And overall, I like the interactions. Just a little digs that tick me off. And we find the apple. So Nubia grabs it, but then loses it. And but she goes into this dream state where she sees Hippolyta, and she tells her she's not good enough or whatever. So she's having self-doubt, and she loses the apple when she comes back to her senses, and the other girl is there to pick her up. And they're like, we're leaving. We're getting out of here. And the bunny finally teleports them because she fed the bunny. So she fed the bunny junk food, and now its energy was back up, kind of like in a video game, I guess. So we teleport, and here's another. I'm going to read this to you. So there's that text there. That's she's saying there. I'm going to read this to you. All right. Wake up, Your Majesty. Nowhere in man's world is safe. Men are bad. Men are bad. We just need to put them up against the wall and just kill them all. Just kill them all. Cut off all their heads. Men are not needed in this world. Just get out. Get out. It's women's world. You are not welcome here, buddy. Get out. Every single man. You're a good man? There's no such thing as a good man. None. Men are all evil. Right? So here we are powerful women. And if we change this, let me change this to say this. Wake up, Your Majesty. Nowhere in woman's world are we safe. So I'm changing the verbiage now from the different sex. We are powerful men, and if they can't put us in our place with words, they'll do it with violence. See how if you flip it, suddenly now it's not empowering. It's you're insulting. So writers out there, don't do this, because if you can change it and suddenly it's insulting, that means it's insulting to somebody. All right? You've forgotten what it's like, all safe on your island, but the Bana Magdal, which is the name of her group, live here. This world loathes us. Men loathe women. We hate them. We hate them. We want to put them up on put them up in the kitchen and chain them to the. Come on, man. Come on. Can you get over yourself, please? So anyway, I'm through with my rant. So we ended up in this weird jungle thing with Asylum. So overall, I like the book. I just need you to get off the pedestal, get off the soapbox. It's not needed for this story. If you had removed those two bubbles, the story would be the same. Therefore, this is only commentary from the writer. If the dialogue does not move the story along, then you're only making commentary. And if this particular person feels that way, then there has to be a setup. Why? Why is she jaded? And then we have to have an arc. All right, that's how writing works. So I guarantee you we're going to get neither one of those. It's just commentary. So again, overall, I like it. Obviously, it couldn't. I think that this was James Gunn was trying to do something on Themyscira along this line, but you couldn't do Game of Thrones, which is what James Gunn wanted to do with the Amazons. Having something with Nubia and having them have their own little adventures outside of Wonder Woman, that would work. That would work. Now, this particular story is junk. This is Tom King from hell. And let's jump into Wonder Woman, where we can further along this story from hell. First of all, Tom King loves to be verbose. Look at the amount of dialogue from every single news station, and it's going along the same thing that I already said, that they want all the Amazons to leave, right? So now we have other commentary that is obviously it's the immigration thing. This is the whole commentary here is about our current immigration. That's the only way I can see this. And then the story from all this stuff going on, where you think Wonder Woman would be heavily involved with all the embassies dealing with it. I mean, she is an ambassador. So you would think that she would be involved with making everything, smoothing everything over, finding the other girl. But no, she takes an entire time out to meet with this family that said, oh, it's probably a bad time. Look at the amount of text in all this. But this boy has cancer, and he's a big fan of Wonder Woman, and she's there to take him for a day. So outside of all this stuff going on, she's gonna take a day off. So if this was just a story, like a mid-story, where all this other world stuff wasn't going on, all this crisis wasn't going on, it would be decent. But because all this other stuff that she should be dealing with, that she's blowing off, it doesn't work. So the boy is happy that she's there, and the artwork is really good. I mean, over all these issues. And then we got this whole sovereign thing that I'm really not feeling. So you got this old guy, and I guess they've been ruling all of the presidents of thing forever, and the president goes and kisses the ring. Okay. So there's that. So then we get into the invisible plane. She doesn't even help the kid who has cancer. She doesn't even help him in the plane. She just throws him in there. He goes in on his own. So it's neat to see the invisible jet. You barely ever see that anymore because she flies on her own. So then we get to see Amanda Waller with Steele, and he asks to go to Paradise Island because she's like, we can go anywhere you want. You want to go to Barcelona? You want to go to Paris? I want to go to Paris Island. She's like, well, he's like, well, it's okay. We don't have to go. If it's too much trouble to take a cancer kid to Paradise Island, you just let me know. And she knows it's going to be trouble bringing a male there. So she does it anyway. And we get this cool, weird thing of, because if she's inside the invisible jet, and we just saw that that's the other thing, is that we just saw on the previous page that we could see them when the thing's not right. So we can't see the rest of them, right? So the whole thing is invisible. So technically, they would be invisible inside the jet as well. But I guess it was the way for the artist for them to see their POV of the whole thing down the bottom. Meanwhile, Steve is causing trouble. He's having a punch out session because the guy is, wagging on Wonder Woman, so he's coming to her, her verbal rescue. So when they get there, of course, they're met with the party saying, nah, this can't happen. This is not going to happen. And she's like, yeah, it is. Yeah, and you can fight me if you want, but, I've trained my entire life kicking all of your asses, so you can try to stop me if you want, but it's probably not going to work out well for you. So Artemis and Philippus meet, and I guess because Nubia is away, Philippus is taking the throne, and she says, yeah, well, the one thing we know is that we can't control her, so let's just let it happen. So we go through, look at the amount of text on this page. It's absolutely crazy how much this guy likes to hear himself talk. So we have a day with the cancer kid, which is it's a neat little story. It's heartwarming, all this stuff. And then we get the speech from the president, of course, that the sovereign has basically told him what to say. And then we get this really weird page. Again, weird. Where the kid says, something's wrong with me because all my other friends are fans of Superman and Batman, and I'm fans of a woman, and does that make me gay? I think that's where it's kind of going with this. Is, am I gay? Something's wrong with me on my inside. And I think that's what Tom King is trying to say, just in a roundabout way. So I'm a fan of Wonder Woman. Does that make me gay? Come on. What the hell, dude? I don't understand this commentary. I don't understand it. There's no reason for it. So anyway, we get nice little shot of Cheetah there. I don't know what they're doing with her just yet. But I guess Amanda Waller is putting together a team. And then we get the continuation of there's something wrong with me dialogue. I'm just going to pass over that. And that's the end of the issue. So this whole issue, nothing happens. Nothing propels the story forward at all. It's literally an intermittent story for no reason. And then we get this backup story because we have to tell Trinity, of which I could give a shit less about this character, that here's the other problem. Damian and John Kent were super sons, right? They were basically the same age. But then Bendis screwed everything up and decided to age up John Kent, right? To the point where he was a teenager and Damian was still 10, right? Or whatever. So now we're a few years later, so John would be in his 20s and Damian would be like 15. Why are they still hanging together? They make it look like they're similar age, but they're not. The whole age up thing screwed that whole thing up. So now I guess it's their way of trying to back it down and maybe they won't notice kind of. I don't know. But she sees herself ruling over John and Damien. Why? I have no idea. But that's her thing, is that her fantasy is that she's controlling these two people and that she rules over them, because then we find out that she's literally in a dream world where I guess she's doing this often like a drug. She's connecting the plant to herself so she can feel powerful. This is really a weird story. Really weird. And then, she kicks Damien's ass or whatever. I don't know. It's just a weird power trip story. I don't know. But anyway, the boys have to figure out how to get this plant off her, and the artwork is all right, but I just don't understand it. I don't understand the whole power trip thing. So they take it off her, and they sit and relax. Whatever. The artwork's good. The story is complete junk. So, and again, the Amazon's attack thing. I would love to see some other of the Amazons, like Artemis and Philippus and Nubia. All that stuff could really be good if we actually got a good story around it, but right now we don't. And I just enjoy Mary also. So seeing their interaction is the only reason I'm buying that book. The story is not propelling me at all. So yep, there's that. And in fact, that is $8 worth of shit, technically. All right, so let's jump into Canary. This is my independent from Dark Horse, which is by Scott Snyder, not Zack Snyder, Scott Snyder. And Dan Panosian is doing the art on this. So this is it's a supernatural Western. It's about like a bounty hunter / sheriff guy that ends up finding a mass murderer and kind of takes him down. And he's got like stories written about him. And he finds like all these bodies that are in the water, in the lake or whatever else that this guy had killed. So he ends up getting hired to investigate this run of series of events that kind of get tracked down to this mining town. So he meets a scientist there that's going to help him, and the scientist is black. So of course they're kind of shying away from the racial thing that would have occurred back in that time, and I'm fine with it. They don't need to jump into it. So the characters are all good. So they end up so the mayor is all hyped about the fact that he's he's there since he's famous, but the owner of the bar, whose dad was dealing with the whole mines thing, who ended up getting killed in the mines, knows the area, so they're relying on her to take her around. They've left the mayor in the dust. So anyway, he has the scientist guy has this, I guess, sound recording device. I guess they're trying to make it true to the time. I don't know too much about the recording devices at the time. I think this is a little bit out of. I think they were. I don't know if they were recording records at the time that you could do that without a major factory. But anyway, so they go to the mine, and here's where it gets kind of weird. So he goes in to send the recording device down to see if he can hear anything. Meanwhile, these guys are having a conversation, and he tells her to shut up, and she's like, "I'm not gonna shut up." He's like, "No, something's happening." So just shut up. So he puts on his little coffin mask, and the poor freaking doctor or whatever professor comes out. He's like, "Okay, I'm done." And he immediately gets shot. Talk about bad timing. So they shoot through the device, and it hits him, grazes his eye. Really, he's like, "I'm fine." I would not be saying I was fine if I got grazed in the eye. So the other guy shoots back, and I guess it's like an Indian tribe thing. I'm not sure what the hell that is, but the guy's got no nose, and he basically says that my interaction, as they took my nose or whatever. But they're not in a good situation. And he's like, no, we're closing up the mine. Nobody's allowed down there. We don't want any investigation happening, which is why they tried to take the recording device out. But they never confiscate it. Meanwhile, look at the poor guy's eye. Oh, man. It's like, give the guy a break, man. He's only a scientist. And then we find out that there's some mutations going on. It's supposed to be a horse's skull. And they take I guess that the nurse's brother was down in the mines. And she's taking pieces of shrapnel out of his eye. Poor guy. I'm feeling for him, man. And the mayor shows up and he's pissed off that they didn't take him with him. Oh, that was pretty funny. So they listen through the device, and look, they even have, I don't know, it's 1800s. Do they really have this stuff? So anyway, they listen and they hear somebody down there saying, in fact, it even says it right there in pretty big letters. You can just read it. We're still down here. And they're like, holy shit, what's going on? So remember that they were closing everybody off. They were immediately found these people and everything like that. But now, in literally the next page, they say, oh, we've done this dozens of times. So they never showed up again to stop anybody? That's a complete plot hole there. A complete plot hole. I mean, the artwork's kind of nice. I like the faces that they've done. But yeah, complete pothole there. I don't know if he was. So they end up going to this house that she used to live in to find some information that her father may have left. And she's aware that there is a secret room somewhere that her father disappeared into, but they don't know where. And they're like, the voice that they hear and the thing that the nurse is saying, that's my brother's voice. That's my brother's voice, I'm telling you. So it's getting kind of creepy. And then they go into the house and they look around, dumping stuff over. It's all a big mess anyway. It's all dilapidated and destroyed. And they look around. They can't find anything. And when they pull up the winch that's supposed to have the recording device on it, because they've been doing that dozens of times and they've gotten nothing, instead they bring up the brother. So they're like, holy shit, what's going on? So the brother is all, the whole town is happy that they found somebody down there, because I guess they all lost somebody. So they're thinking maybe their loved ones are down there, but like, how did they even survive all this time? Then when they finally find the secret room, and they see a picture of some of the miners, and he realizes that the serial killer guy is one of the miners. So somebody torches. Oh, they look in the brother's mouth, and they find all these fangs and stuff like that, and they're like, his skin's kind of messed up there, buddy. I put my fingers right in his skin, and his bones kind of move around. And the doctor's trying to come up with some excuses. But anyway, somebody torches the house that they're in. That's not good. So meanwhile, they're in that secret room, like in the basement, so they can't even get out. And then the brother kind of turns into a monster. Yeah, it's like that. I'm waiting to see. There's only one issue left. I don't know how they're going to fix this up in one issue. Kind of weird. Okay, so let's. So this one, I think this is interesting. We'll see how it ends. But so far, I'm pretty intrigued with it. I like the characters. They got to fix that plot hole, man. So I would say yes to Canary. I like Snyder's stuff. I like the one about the Red Baron guy too. Wonder Woman, no. Amazon's Attack, no. The characters would be good, but not the story. All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching me rant and rave. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. Just let me know. You can, I can take it. If you want to give me the middle finger and say yes, men are evil. You can let me tell that. I guess I'm one of them. I guess. Also, we're going to have late pledge for Lords of LA. And Mark Spears and I are working on that card game, the monster card game, which I'm really excited about. I have some tweaks to do. We did another playthrough the other day, and I have to do a few more tweaks. Turning out pretty well, though. I'm pretty excited about it. And anyway, so thank you again so much. Give me a like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, give me a middle finger. However you want to play it, I'm good with it. All right. And thank you, help me grow the channel out and having a good 2023 despite me not being able to work. And for the last 6 months, and I will see you on the next one. Check out some of my other videos right now as well. Thanks, guys. Bye.